fans, we are about to start. The time is upon us, and I need about hmm, not quite 7 minutes of your time to kind of cool out and wait for me as we begin to pull together everything. I am your host and facilitator, Dr. Alwanda Bennett. I am the Vice President of Professional Development at PMI Houston. And I really want to talk to you about all of our programs and everything we have scheduled coming up for you in the new year. I'm thrilled to tell you more about it. And we just want to give people an opportunity to get into the room. So as we're waiting, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit while I put this into a quiet mode for a moment. You don't see me, but I'm sure you could hear me. And one of the things that I would like to share with you is that we will be having a number of different websites that we'll be visiting today, and I will take you to them as our time permits. The first thing I want to take you to is PMI.org. That's our major place that we're going to be working today. We'll also be in PMIHouston.org. So we have two special spots that we're going to visit today, and I have so much to tell you. I keep going back to my notes going, I can't forget to tell them this. I can't forget to tell them that. So look forward to some exciting things as we plan to be together. We'll just give people a chance to get into the room. And as you get in, you can say hello to me as you see fit. And I see we have a joiner there. And I'm just happy. I see someone's joined the room. And I am working on pulling everything together as well. So the time is not quite yet upon us, but my hope is that you can hear me. And if you can hear me, just give me a cue in the chat to let me know that you're able to hear me well. Give me a cue in the chat if you can hear me. And in a moment, I'll make sure you can see me too. That'll be great. I see a couple of people there. Great. All right, let me reveal myself to you. Hello. Thank you for being here for the final Friday of 2022. I was going to wear this sequin thing, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do it to him. I can't be superstar status on a Friday. So, again, I wanted to welcome you all. Thank you, Samuel. I certainly appreciate it. I see that Elaine gave me the cue. Thank you. And then she could also give me the cue again when she wants me to be quiet. I just want to share the vision for professional development for 2023, what's coming up in the new year, and all the things that will be available to you. Also, I would like to invite certain people. I have folks on LinkedIn, and they are here to help us in a number of different ways. They're going to tell us some of the projects they're working on and also share with you their links to their site so that you can, if you want to jump on those offers, you'll be able to. My biggest thing, though, is to make sure that when you're coming in, that you're getting an opportunity to know what it is that is available to you and your team in the coming year from PMI Houston. So, a few people that have already joined are already PMP, and that means you're a project management professional already. You have the credential, and some people are PMO, Project Management Office certified. That's a very rare certification. And we have somebody on the call right now that holds that certification today. My hope is that she'll be dropping some gems to us. I'm new to this platform and I'm practicing it. So I'd like any feedback on if you like the restream. My preference is that I can hear you, but what I'm being told is that that's a different sort of streaming thing that I need to do. So please, if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the chat because I can see them and then I'll be able to reply and respond to them on the screen. So I will go to my first things first, just to give you an overall high level of what we'll be discussing together. As the time is 2 minutes to the time, I'm just going to give it a bit. We'll see if this computer likes my plan. And I thank you all for your time and patience. It certainly is most appreciated. This will not be Death by PowerPoint. We're going to have more of a discussion than anything. So, what I want to bring to you is the vision for 2023 for what we'll be doing with professional development in the project management space. And the only reason I want you to know that is because I want to help you get to the next level in your career next year. And the only way to do that is to level up your skill set. And how do you do that? Come to courses that we offer. It will help you tremendously because the credentials that you hold set you apart from your competition. For the people online, have you had to apply for a job and you never heard back from them? Give me a Y in the chat if you've had that happen where you've applied for a job but you never heard back. Just give me an N if that's never happened to you. But essentially, they ghosted you. So Y in the chat if it's happened, an N if it has not. And I'll just kind of give you guys a little time and opportunity in order to answer that question. Have you ever had the quiet game played with you? And I'll rest just briefly here so that we can begin. Have you had it where you apply for a job and then you're like, it was all silence, all radio silence, there was nothing? And if you find that to be the case, you're more than welcome to enter it in the chat. Okay. All right, great. So it's happened to maybe one or two of us where we have actually presented our credentials to a company but never heard back a word. Um, the reason I think credentials are important is because they will allow an employer to determine if you have the basic skill set, level, knowledge, skills, and abilities to carry out a particular type of work. The certification or the credential side, a little bit different than having a degree. And the reason I say that is because if you want plumbing done, most plumbing people do not have a degree, but they do have a certificate specifying that they do know how to fix plumbing. There is no doubt in that. Same thing with the electrician and other journeymen and other tradesmen. In the professional development realm, we know people can operate projects if they hold the PMP. We know that they can do portfolios and programs if they hold the PFPM and the PGPM. If they hold any of those certifications, then we know in our mind that those people have truly been vetted and that they have at least the basic skill set that is required in order to do this job. In fact, when I look around the United States, our most populous PMI chapter is in Washington, D.C., where the government requires that people have the PMP as a basis in order to work on certain contracts. Government work, they really do prefer to have the PMP credential. To them, it says something. And there's so much certification noise out there. And what I intend to do is help you cut through the noise of that and allow you to figure out what program is going to suit you best. So again, I'm Dr. Elwanda Bennett. I'm your host and facilitator, and I'll be showing you all around what that world of certification is going to look like for next year. The first thing I'll talk to you about are a few programs, and this is the thing you want to put in your leadership toolbox. And what I mean by that is that we're looking at project managers to become leaders. Uh, in the chat, if you think project managers are leaders, I would like you to put an L in the chat to let me know. So yeah, they're leaders. I believe they lead their projects. I believe they are the ones that we would contact in order to manage things in the project. If you believe that, go and drop a L in the chat for me to let me know that you're in the same mindset as me, that you believe that project managers are leaders. And another thing that you could do, if you disagree with me, go on and put a D in there, and that way I will know that that is not necessarily the case in your opinion. I truly think that these people are leaders. Thank you, Samuel. And I want you to recognize that in your work right now. If you are a project manager, you're definitely serving in a very strong leadership role. So we have a whole bunch of programs, launch plans for you guys to show you where are we launching, what is it that we're actually giving out this year. And then lastly, we have a set of different activities that we'll be doing in order to help enhance our project management skills. So I want you to give me a number. On a scale of 1 to 10, how important do you think having any of the certifications that are offered are important to an employer? On a scale of 1 to 10, how important do you think that is? And I'll leave you to give me the answer there. And everybody's entitled to their opinion, so I won't dispute it. But I'm just curious as to what people are thinking. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the importance of the certification? Yeah, I rated a 10 as well. So, what I want to do, and I believe you can see my screen, what I want to do is take you into that world of all the certifications that are available, talk to you about membership just a little bit so you can understand what is this PMI thing anyhow, and how can it help me launch my career next year? How can it help me lift myself up to the next level? How can I increase what it is I know and understand so that I can become more valuable to an employee group out there? And I also want to speak to people that mostly have an entrepreneurship mindset. How could they bring more value to their customer through having this particular certification? Right now, on this particular website, and I spend a lot of time here, I'm always coming here to get my little work done that I like to do. And this is getting us into the Project Management Institute. If you are a member, you will see some of the things that I see. Um, You will see more if you have special access that they bring to you. So they're talking about more value from membership, but the key thing about it is that what do you care if you get in and you can't find anything? So I want to talk to you about what's possible out here and all the sorts of things that are available to you. I call this little triangle up here, this little square, I call it the postage stamp. If you click on that postage stamp in that top left-hand corner, it'll reveal all the different websites that are a part of the Project Management Institute. So you have the projectmanagement.com. That one has so many layers of great templates, presentations, thought leadership from the industry inside of projectmanagement.com. I encourage people to go there. There's also Citizen Developer, which is another program that PMI has pulled together to allow people that want to be product owners, perhaps, to understand what that means. That's what that particular program is for, and I'm just hovering right here on Citizen Developer. Then there's Discipline Agile. When you think of project management, always think Agile as being a flavor of project management. It's not separate and apart from it. It is just a, I would call a specialization within project management and another methodology. Inside of Agile, there's 5 different types of Agile at a bare minimum because they're making newer, more intense forms of Agile every day. But 5 different types. And the one that they offer at PMI is called Disciplined Agile. Um, Lastly, you see right here, they have the Bright Line Initiative, which is a way of talking about how projects are run. And then they have a leader speak. Every section in here is vitally important to you. And all I can tell you is that you'll see down at the very bottom, it has your chapters. I happen to belong to the PMI Houston chapter. And that's one way that you can begin using this website in order to unlock the value. The next thing I want to take you to is the certifications. And if you have any questions about certifications, I would very much like you to ask them, because what I would do is make sure that you have the information you need to find out which certification that you'd want to pursue. The first thing is I want to give you an overview. And there are a number of new Agile certifications because Agile is the way that places are going. And there's a couple of different things that you'll see. Some people say, waterfall, you'll hear that, which is predictive. And then you'll hear Agile, which is adaptive. And I always tell them, if you want to know the difference, if I'm doing it Agile, I would think that no one's life is at risk, meaning that we want the speed, but no one's life is at risk. But predictive, people's lives are at risk. So what do I mean? You would not use agile to build a bridge. You would use waterfall or predictive because it involves cement and construction workers and time to cure and weather, all risks that must be summed up, calculated, and assessed by a project manager or a risk manager assigned to a project to work alongside the project manager. So the predictive style will be if you're going to build something, think that way. Construction management, all of that is predictive. It's not going to be agile. And because as you do releases, all of that going back and fixing errors and mistakes, these things have to be executed up front. All of those risks have to be understood up front. And the only reason I mention that is because here in Houston, we recently had a problem where we had built a bridge over a Beltway 8 bridge over the Houston Ship Channel, and it came in that the bridge was not properly built. And because of that, they're going to have to do it over 100%. And that was on a predictive sort of basis. They realized midstream, after they'd done the first phase, that they needed to redo it. Could absorb that some, but that predictive way, that waterfall way, that's a toughie, and that's going to take a lot of money, time, and energy to correct. So that's why I have you put that in your head. If I'm doing agile, I can go with speed. Um, the other example that I could give you is one where it's a pharmaceutical company, and let's say they're running clinical trials. They still have to do all the regulatory body stuff, also conduct a study, also use the industry standards along with the governmental standards. They would like to move to agile, but because people's lives are at stake, they would mostly stay with predictive and only do agile for other things that did not involve patient health. Uh, so I hope that gives you some idea about what differences are there. The first one that I want to talk to you about is the PMP. I have a personal goal this year in 2023 to get 100 new PMs validated, certified inside of our organization. Um, so and I'll show you how much experience you'll need in order to get that. Then there's the CAPM. You take the CAPM if you're not quite ready to go to the PMP. You want to do it, but you're like, I'm still fairly new and I just want to learn more about it. This is one of the ones I'm considering down here. It's called the PMI BA. You get the PMI BA is to allow you to do business analysis for companies, but in uh, a more structured framework around that. Then your next level, and this is for all my people that already hold their PMP, you have a number of options that are open to you. One of my friends, she went with the PMO certification, which is a project management office certification. She really loves it. She's using that right now. That's different than this one. This one is a program management professional. So we already know what a project is. It's a distinct initiative. But if you have a group of related projects together, they will be considered a program. So you have program managers. And this is one certification that will allow a PMP to move up into that next layer or next strata of management. This is great for PMPs that want to grow in their leadership capabilities. And then I would say the apex of that would be portfolio management. Think enterprise wide initiatives, think large scale things for companies. And what I would say is that your portfolio would have a number of programs and projects inside of it, and you'll be at the strategic level with this. You can think with programs, you can think closer to operational work, going to go more tactical. Here, you're looking at the whole breadth and depth of all projects, all programs within a single organization and managing that portfolio and the risk associated with that. The other one is the specialization that you could learn about, which is the risk management professional. I tell you that people that get this are sorely needed in our industry and throughout other industries. So if you're really strong in risk and you enjoy that area, I encourage you to pursue it. We have the scheduling professional. I recently ran into a gentleman that was wondering where he could go next, and I recommended this to him because he's already in scheduling. He just doesn't have the credential. So I says, hey, this will be a great way to supercharge your career. It's a rare certification. Not a lot of people have it. And because of that, that'll give a higher intrinsic value because there's not a whole plethora of them. This one, my PMI Project Management Ready, I really like that one because it's for high schoolers and for young people that want to get into it, test it out, see if they like it. And the newest kid on the block is this construction professional one, the CP. And with all these infrastructure projects coming online, this would be a great infrastructure sort of credential to get. And you can see there's a number of different things that you could do. They're talking about the different agile certifications, and I want to take you to those. And the reason they do that is because they keep referring to something called business agility, which is a business's ability to pivot. And you have the scrum master, you have the certified practitioner, you have the senior scrum master, and the value stream consultant, along with the coach, the agile coach. So there's five there that you could particularly go to that will be in that agile space. For those of you that are interested in agile, I just want you to drop something to me in the chat to make me aware if you want to hear more about that. Then I will show you the overview. I want to show you the framework. Right. I'll stop for a moment to take a few questions. Let me look here. All right. Are there any questions for the floor? Can I continue? Seems to be quiet, and that's okay. It's a Friday. Not a lot of people want to talk about it. Let me see. What I'm finding is that since this month they made some changes to the website that I was not necessarily privy to, which one that's from the framework of all of them combined on a single sheet. And that was what I was wanting to get to today, but I don't see it. So we have the certifications. We kind of went over all of those. Now I'd like to show you a little bit about the membership. And in order to become a member, you would simply pay the membership fee. And depending on who you are, it will allow you different events that you have access to. I recently went to two events this year. One was the Global Summit that was held in Los Angeles. And then locally, we did our own conference here locally in Houston. A couple of things that are available inside of here once you become a member. The key thing that you get access to is the PMI standards. And those standards will allow you to set yourself apart as a professional. You may notice that all the standards are here. Aside from having the PMBOK and having access to that, you'll have an electronic copy that you could use. Also, with this electronic copy of this, it shows you that the members receive 50% off of a hard copy. But the key thing I want to show you is this. If you get the guide, you can get it in any of these languages. And I was fortunate enough this year to get a hard copy in Spanish because I really wanted that, the Latin America Spanish. But the key thing is that once you come here, you would select the language that you'd like to use. And then once you pick that and you click download, it'll ask you for your credential. You will fill in your password, and that's how you would be able to get access to that item. Once you download it, when you download a copy of any of the materials or resources from PMI as a member, your member number and your name is stamped inside of that file. And you cannot open it unless you give it your password because it has something on it called digital rights management or DRM. And that prevents anyone from using your copy. So you have that you can use. All right. With that, I believe it's time to talk about a few of the projects that we're working on at PMI Houston so that you can have an understanding of what it is you can do locally that's also available globally. Inside of our area, we have PMP courses, project management, professional prep that you can attend, and these are in-person courses. We also have virtual. Along with that, we're offering the PGPM and the PFPM, which is your program and your portfolio management. We're offering those in person. We're also offering um, the BA course in person. So we have a wide range of things that we're offering, and we want people to be a part of it. We also have 5 new things this year. One of them is called Project Management Pulse. That'll be a monthly audio event, and it'll be viewed through LinkedIn, and you'll get on the Pulse and you'll learn about the projects that are in your local area from all over the world. So you don't know what's going to happen, but you just got to show up to that. Then the final Fridays, like the one we're having today, they will continue into 2023. And our first guest of the year is Mr. Lee Lambert. He will be here. He is one of the PMI founders, and I will be interviewing him in this space. And you'll have an opportunity to have question and answer with him as well. And I believe you're going to love that because aside from him being a good soul and a warm individual, he is a volunteer. All of us, for the most part, that work at PMI are volunteers. So even in my own space, I'm volunteering. We're looking for people to come alongside us that want to do great things in the world. And Lee is going to be getting with us next month in order to start our year off right and have us tied together. The other thing is that we'll be doing this book of the month. We have a book club that we'll be starting. And essentially, this is one of the books that we'll be using. It's by Lee, but it's Earned Value Management. And this particular book, as I read them, each month it'll be a different book. And I will be writing a blog and posting it on LinkedIn and our website so that you can see if you're interested in the book, if the content is suitable to you and it has things you need in it. My hope is to give you a really strong understanding of what's contained within the book, what you can use, and anything that is applicable to your current workplace. From there, I wanted to ask Elaine if she wanted to drop in the chat any of her latest offerings this year. She was my coach when I got my PMP, and I'm encouraging others that if they want to get individualized instruction from someone that's really strong and will help them actually push to get the PMP done, that will help motivate them to finish it. She is definitely a really great resource. And she's running several great programs this year that you may want to be a part of. So you have 3 options. You have your PMI.org. You can come to PMIHouston.org, where we're doing the in-person and the virtual sort of programs. You could also go and get a coach, or you can do the virtual option by yourself. I don't encourage you to go it alone. People are asking me now for study groups for the new year. They're asking questions about different boot camps. I know that we're going to do a program about change for project managers with a group called Change Fit. They have a program called Change 360. And with Change 360, what I'm finding is that they will be offering us the opportunity to come in and get that particular program so that we can improve our muscles and our abilities around the change space for project management. Because remember, there is a talent triangle, and on one side of it is leadership, one side of it is people and teams, the other side is business acumen. And each of them deal with different technical aspects of each of these areas. So this is something that I'm really excited about. My hope is that you will get an opportunity to go in and begin to understand more about that. If you want to write me, I am going to drop my email in the chat if you want to write me, and I will be more than happy to point you to any resources. So I'll put that in the chat for you there. I also heard from someone that is a veteran. We have a veteran military outreach program. So for those that would like to get the PMP, they can help you perhaps figure out how to use your GI Bill in order to do that. Also, if you're looking for work in the private sector, they help link up folks to the workplace. Uh, you also have an opportunity, and it's depending on what you're doing, is to go in and begin to align with a number of different organizations. In fact, we have three that are coming up in the first quarter. The first one is going to be the Society for Petrochemical Engineers. They have a job fair that's going to go on in April. We'll be aligning with them. Also, late March, early April, we've been asked, at least I know I've signed up to be with the NCAA tournament for the Final Four. The Final Four will be hosted here in Houston next year, and we're being volunteers in that space. So if you'd like to know more about that, write me at vppdpmihouston.org. And aside from the projects and the programs that I've told you about, the last one I want to let you know, we also have one for renewable energy. If anyone's interested in that, please write me. I will make sure that you get all the details concerning that. But it's always done with a focus on project management, a focus on professional development, and a focus on membership growth in their career. So I just want to thank you all for attending. I certainly appreciate the time, energy, and effort that you put into making it today. And I look forward to seeing you in 2023. Specifically, if you'd like to know anything more about what it is I'm working on, I will be more than happy to meet you and greet you over there in 2023 at my email of vppd at pmihouston.org. Again, I'm excited about the plans that we're prepared, and I'm looking forward to hearing more from each of you as you have need. And I look forward to supporting you as you move into the next phase of your work. Phenomenal job, everybody. Happy New Year. Have a great, great weekend. Enjoy yourselves, and you'll hear again from me not too long from now. Everyone, be well.